Hello and welcome to Unccordinated with Adam
and Joes
and our special guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, it's Chris here.
We have Chris Fleming joining us today.
Yeah, Dr. Chris.
Yes,
Your first time on the radio, I
Thank you
believe.
for having me. It is actually, yes. Yeah, no, I'm very impressed. I mean, the lights came on and everything there.
It does.
Oh.
Shows you when you're live.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a really uncoordinated start by me because I was like a baby deer again, trying to remember.
And to be fair, it's been a while because we've had so many. Either you were away or did we have a bank holiday?
We had a bank holiday, but I was away last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we've got another one next week. So
Yeah.
that's going to be fun. Is the bed playing? I can't hear anything.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, sorry.
It's
yeah,
just, sorry,
it's
a bit
just down very
quiet.
low.
I pushed the music down too far.
Oh.
But yeah, and we are streaming on YouTube because I made sure to click that.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, the YouTube people. I'll move my drinks out the way so you can see my lovely face.
Aww. So yeah, we've got, well, lots lined up for today. Of course, Chris being our guest, we asked him what do you want to talk about, and he said careers.
Oh.
He doesn't even remember.
He doesn't remember. It was
Sure I
it
said
was a
that.
few weeks ago.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, we
We'll
have.
talk about that. There we go. That'd be good.
I've done the entire show for
There we
it.
go. Yes, yeah.
If
Let's do
not,
that.
we'll just wing it. But we're gonna start off with.
Our favourite category.
Yeah.
Knowing me, knowing you.
Uh-huh.
So, do you regret coming on already? He doesn't say. He doesn't.
I'm withholding judgment for now. Am I too far away?
Yeah,
There we
sorry,
go.
you've gone back a bit
Okay.
further. There we go.
There we go. I'm not
Yeah.
going to sing quite yet.
That's fine. When we get you back next time, you can see.
Okay.
Bit of a lame page.
Oh, do Elaine Page. Yeah. Don't
Who's
cry
Elaine
for me.
Page?
Who's
Wasn't
Elaine
he
Page?
good? Oh, so good. Oh,
Is he
he's-
fine?
Who's that?
He said I wasn't going to get him to sing. Isn't it madness? He can
won't
be
be
mine. And in the end, he needs a little bit more than me. More. He
Security.
needs his hand. No?
Can I
Okay.
just say the harmony was beautiful.
Me and Chris will be performing at the O2
Oh,
Arena
that'd be
later in the
great,
summer.
that.
I love it. I have no idea who that is or what song that is. I'm really
we'll have to
sorry.
get- It's musicals.
We'll see if it's on the system
musicals.
later.
She does
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
musicals. Evita and what else has she done? Sunset Boulevard.
I know her
That
for the
was
one
from-
song.
That was from
Oh.
Chess. That one we were singing there. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll give you all the highlights
Yeah.
as we go along.
As soon as we're back in the office and no one's in. All their songs.
So, shall we explain to Chris what knowing me, knowing you,
Uh-huh.
is? The
Yeah.
title is quite self-explanatory. We basically ask each other random questions so the audience and ourselves can get to know each other a little bit better. So, we've also asked Chris Chris loves an icebreaker. He really does. So we've asked him to come up with a few as well. But I think we'll start with Josephine. Would you like to go first with your first question of knowing me? Should we go round in a circle? So
Yeah,
you,
can
me,
do.
Chris, you, me, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's a food combination you love but others find odd?
I know yours.
Do you? Okay. Well, I'll say mine. I picked pickles and ice cream.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I really like, to be fair, chips and ice cream, like salty and the sweet, but pickles and ice cream is so good.
I remember you talking about the pickles and ice cream in
Yeah.
the office at one point, and yes, being quite shocked by that combination. I do remember.
It's really nice.
I understand it though, because sometimes if I get a milkshake from McDonald's, I'll dip my chips in it.
Yeah, it's just the
Well,
same.
In fairness, I've not tried it, so
Gonna have to now.
yeah.
My one comes with a backstory.
Oh, okay.
In my second year of university, I was still in halls, and the halls had a vending machine called the Village Shop, and you can get all sorts in there: milk, eggs, anything that might be like essential. And it was about 2-3 in the morning. I was trying to finish off this report that was due about 2 days later, and I went there. There wasn't much left in there because I haven't topped it up for the day, and all that was left was a loaf of bread and some Cadbury's chocolate fingers. And I created the Cadbury's chocolate finger sandwich.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
That does sound good. That I quite like that.
When you think about it, it's literally just crunchy chocolate spread. It's biscuits in a sandwich basically as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be quite nice.
I think that would be quite nice.
Yeah, I think mine is also biscuit related.
Oh, of
anyway.
course.
Of course it is.
But I mean, I might also say a Baby Bell. I quite like to combine Baby Bells with different things, like like chocolate biscuits and things. I do find that
Okay.
sort of.
I mean-
don't have anything wild in terms of a combination, but I do like that combination of the
Yeah.
chocolate and Baby Bell.
Chocolate and cheese does go together,
yeah.
so I get that. Yeah. Adam doesn't think much of cheese.
I'm not a cheesy person.
Oh.
Alright. Do you want to say your question?
Yes. Okay. My question will be, what smell reminds you of childhood?
Ooh.
I've gone deep.
I've got one.
I've been told not to swear. So
To be fair, you did work in the stables.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Basically, horse manure is my smell. Yes.
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 Oh.
Yeah, I'd say I did grow up on a farm with lots of horses, so yes, it's that's the smell that takes me back. We used to have a big muck heap, which to a 5-year-old child looked about 3 stories high, and that was just where everything was put in a pile to be got rid of at a later date. But that was a very fun place to play as a child.
Yeah.
You could dig out little caves and things in it. Yeah, it was and climb to the top of it like a mountain.
I can just imagine you just covered, being like, "Did you have fun?" Yes.
Yes.
Covered in poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I think that'll be mine.
To be fair, mine, the first one that came to mind was cigarettes,
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
like cigarette smell, because, for some reason, first thought that came to mind, smell of cigarettes.
Mine I only really discovered recently. I was doing some cleaning, and not many people use it as a cleaning product. It's technically an antiseptic kind of thing. It's Dettol.
Oh, I love Dettol.
And Dettol's more for hygiene purposes, but it's not really meant for cleaning. But I used to watch people when I lived in the Middle East, and they used to use Dettol and they pour it in the mop bucket,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it would help make it smell clean. And I was cleaning the bathroom, and the sink smelled a bit whiffy, so I just got a bit of it and poured it down, and I was like, oh, I can remember Qatar with like all the clean tiles and the smell of just Dettol, and Dettol is such a nice smell.
It's such a nice smell.
Yeah.
That's what they use in tattoo studios.
Oh,
Is it?
Dettol. Yeah.
Okay.
we're not sponsored by Dettol, but if they do want to sponsor us,
Oh, please sponsor me.
welcome to Uncoordinated with Adam and Joe, sponsored by Dettol.
Yeah.
Why not? People bath in Dettol as well.
Yeah,
Like just like a capful. But yeah.
it's good for your skin. Like
Yeah.
they say, use it for spots and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, Chris, would you like
Oh,
to
it's
do
mine.
your first
Okay.
It's your
icebreaker?
go.
Well, I'll say one of my go-to icebreakers, and in fact, the icebreaker that I think got me this job, as I asked it in the interview, was tell me a boring fact about yourself.
Oh.
So I'll give you a little.
Well, no,
time
I
to,
have mine,
Okay.
but I've said it on the show before, so I don't know if I should say a different one.
Do you want to hear what his example of a boring fact is? Because he did this for me a few weeks
Okay.
ago, and it wasn't the kind of boring fact I would have gone for, but then it was, yeah.
Okay. Well, my boring fact for today is I had cheese for lunch.
Right, that kind of boring fact.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Me and you, we're both overthinkers, so we'll be
Yeah.
like, what's boring about us that we can talk about?
Well, yeah, because I went for my pie one, but I've already said that before. And
What's your
that's-
pie one then?
Oh, I know pie to the 8th place, something like that. But
Ah, okay.
that's quite boring. But no, you're sort of boring.
It's like mundane, boring kind
Yes.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had homemade beef and potatoes last night for dinner. It's quite nice.
Oh. You've ruined my other question now, which was what did you have for dinner the last night?
I can give you the night before because it was beef as well.
That is another one of my icebreakers.
My boring fact of the day is I had to tie my shoelaces twice this morning. On the walk, they came undone.
That is a
Only
good
on
boring.
only on my right foot, I should
Yeah.
say.
No, that is a good boring fact.
That is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Right. Shall I say another one of mine?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, which one to pick? Okay, so I don't know if you've seen the Golden Compass.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
but they have like animal sidekicks.
Yes.
So if you had an animal sidekick,
Oh.
what animal would it be?
I know mine.
I might go for the one that people say I'm quite simple, because we did it in the office once where we were asking. We did dogs, and we also then did animals in general. And I quite like my dog one that everyone agrees with. That's a Saint Bernard, the
Yeah.
big hairy dog. However, if it was a non-dog related one, I would have to go for a brown grizzly bear, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. You could then ride it to work.
I can't find a parking space. Just there on my bear.
It's quite frightening that to just see a bear, sitting next to you or something.
Just in the office.
Yeah.
No, you guys. This is before your time. For like 7 months when I first started, there was a jungle skog in the office, and it's the IKEA bear, the really big chunky brown bear IKEA bear called Jungle Skog. It belonged to the Debate Society, and they never came to collect it, so we just put it in the chair next to me for ages. So I genuinely used to sit next to a big brown bear, basically. What about you?
I
What's
think
your
that's-
one?
I was and still am slightly obsessed by his Dark Materials trilogy. So I did all of the tests and things
Oh, yes.
that were going around at the time when that all came out. I think at the time my one was an osprey. I remember that. I always liked that. A sea eagle.
Oh,
I always liked that one.
that's
I thought that was
nice.
good. Yeah.
I like that.
But I remember that was the weird internet tests that
Yeah.
come out around those films and things. Tell your demon now. And yeah. But I think that was mine.
What about yours, Joes?
I think otter because they're cute and I can have it on my shoulder, but it's also vicious.
And if it's sleepy, it looks like you've got an animal scarf.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was gonna pick a cat, and then I was like, no, because I wouldn't want to carry around a cat all day. But an otter, I can carry it on my neck, and then when I don't like someone, I can and it can bite their finger off because it's vicious, but it's sweet.
Yes.
And then I can put it in the bathtub, and it can do its little swimming on its back
like
thing,
the
because that's
water,
cute.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, would the otter be able to build a dam somewhere in your house, or?
It's not a beaver.
Oh no, that's good, isn't it? Yeah. What do otters do?
They're the ones that carry pebbles and then they hold hands. The amount of people on dating apps who put their favourite fact here as otters hold hands so they don't drift away. I used to love that fact, but now that I've seen so many people do it, it just drives me insane because it's an overused fact. Hello.
I'd love that though. My little otter could bring me stones.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Do you want to say your next question?
Yes, because I have put so much thought into these and remember them all off by heart. I would say... If you had a time machine and you could go back in time, but you can't interact with anything, you're only there so you can view it. Say like you're in a magic bubble. So in the bubble, no matter what you do, nothing will interact with the outside world. What would you want to see? So it means you can't go back in time and be like, I want to stop this from happening, or I want to change this, or I would be king. It's just, you're there for a few hours, and then you can watch whatever you want. So what would be the bit of history you would want to see?
I think for me, is it me?
You go first, yeah.
I think for me it would be I think it was in Babylon. See, I'm an ancient historian. Nerd, so
if you didn't know.
I would want to go back to Babylon and see the night that Alexander the Great gets drunk and kills his friend. Kills his best friend, even. In a drunk rage. There we go. But I just love to go back and see the court and how those kings behaved, and because everyone was there at that night, that party.
I have to say that's also a good one because I think we look back on it on quite a romanticised version. It's like when you think of the Romans and stuff like that and the ancient Greeks, we all think of them as fairly civilised people. But I think if you look back, they're probably...
They were savage.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I know one person who, at a conference I went to, repeatedly referred to Alexander the Great as Alexander the Great Bully.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say something we'd have to mute on air.
Sorry, Sky over is taking over.
Oh, are we doing it wrong?
No, it's just the video wasn't playing on YouTube.
Is it playing now?
Yes, it is.
Hello.
So Sky took over, and I was like, I no longer had control of the mouse.
What about you, Joyce? What would your historical event be that you'd want to see?
Ooh. Because I'm gonna go, because I study history as well.
We're all history nerds here. We're just different
Yeah,
periods.
but you didn't study history.
I did A-level.
Degree.
It's still study.
Okay. It's just different levels.
History. I'm surrounded by history snobs here.
Oh, you did the wrong type of history.
Anyway, I'd have to go like maybe the liberation of Auschwitz,
Okay.
because that's the first one that came to mind. And I think Holocaust studies is my thing.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I know it's quite dark.
I know it is a sort of funny thing to.
I mean, you picked someone killing their best friend.
I'm going to have to try and think of something really light-hearted for mine now.
Yes.
Yes.
Lighten the mood.
Oh, okay. I'll probably go for my history period as well. And it's not a nice one either, to be honest. So I specialised at A-level in medieval history, which not a lot of people do. Everyone goes for like modern or early modern. And we focused on 3 areas, and one of those areas was the Crusades. And I always found it quite fascinating, because when you think of the Crusades, everyone thinks of the warfare side. But there was so much art to it, there was so much politics and diplomacy. I would like to see something slightly warfare related. I would like to see the end of the Siege of Jerusalem, because where the Kingdom of Jerusalem surrendered to Saladin or Saladin, there's many different pronunciations, and it was meant to be in a huge battle with trebuchets, and I quite like. I'm a sucker for a trebuchet, which can, interesting fact, can fling a 90-kilogram projectile over 200 meters. Fact of the day for you about trebuchets. So yeah, I would love to see that, because the surrender as well. It was meant to be an amazing battle, and then it was ended quite diplomatically, and it went on for like nights. And also, I watched Kingdom of Heaven once, and the scene was quite. I feel like.
Oh, is it the one from? Is it that one? Then?
That's the one. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's cool.
Also, it's slightly, because I realised we've got 2 minutes, and I'm going to quickly say. The thing about Saladin is he actually had a pauper's funeral, and he was just buried with everyone else. And it wasn't until Otto von Bismarck went to visit. Was it by Otto von? It was either Otto von Bismarck or it was Kaiser Wilhelm. They were going on a tour, and they found the tomb of Saladin, and he was like, "Oh, it's a pauper's one," and he rebuilt the tomb and gave it riches and all sorts just to respect him, because he was such a well-beloved diplomat, politician, and leader. There we go.
It's very interesting.
We need to.
fact of the
Next time we have
day.
Chris on, we're having a history episode.
I think we should have a history.
I don't know why we
actually.
didn't do that.
Oh,
It's fine.
I don't know.
Next
I feel like
time.
it would just be too many tangents. It's just.
Yes,
It would be a lot.
It would be a lot.
I mean,
but it would be cool, because the 3 of us all do have like almost areas that we not specialise in, but
we're
like
all
like
quite-
I mean, you're a doctor, so
we're
you
quite-
specialise in yours.
And I
But-
worked at a doctor's surgery.
All right, I'm the only non-doctor related here.
You're the doctor of societies.
Oh, Sky said, "I hope you have a good show."
Thank you,
thank
Sky.
you, Sky.
Love you, Sky.
Thank you for sorting out the YouTube.
Oh.
Okay.
You said we got 2 minutes. What we got?
Got-
2
We've got
minutes till-
55 seconds until
What
the next
happens
song
then?
plays. The next song plays.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So a bit of Justin Timberlake will play.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
Chris, as we have 46 seconds remaining, why do you love Justin Timberlake music? Because this was one of your requests was for Justin.
Just one of the most beautiful men in the world. Really, he's very talented. He can sing, he can act, he can dance, he can do everything. He's just the full package, really, I think. Yeah, and it's just the songs I grew up with, I suppose, and that.
I have to say, I like it. I've got a guilty pleasure of a Justin Timberlake song once in a while.
So yeah, we'll be back in a minute after Justin Timberlake.
And the song is.
I'm not going to sing it. Can't stop the feeling.
You don't have to sing it. It's just a link. Enjoy.
I've done it right.
Yeah, you did it a little bit early.
We're all on.
Oh, well,
Hello, welcome back to
Uncoordinated.
Uncoordinated with Adam
and Jace.
and
Chris.
yes. So Jose has a plan. What's the plan, Jose?
I do. So, Chris wanted to talk about careers.
Yes.
So I've come up with lots of different segments of conversation. So the first one is elephant in the room. We all work for the Union of Students at Derby University.
Do we? Since when?
Yes, if no one knows us. Fun fact. We all work for the union. So I have a couple of our job related questions
Oh.
for us to answer. So the first one. So, how did we each end up working at the union? Was it planned or pure chance?
Should we start with our guest?
Yeah.
Start. I suppose it was part of a plan. Yeah, I was looking to move on from where I was before, but I did the similar role at the university when I worked at the university I used to be at in Wales. But I went, it was time to move on from there, and this came up. I went for it, and I got it. So
Aw.
I don't know. Does that answer? I've forgotten the question now.
Yeah, it was just how did you end up
so
working
that's
at the
yeah,
union? Yeah.
yeah.
So yours sounds quite planned then, like because
I think it was really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking around for a little while, and this came up. So yeah.
Oh,
Right.
happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Mine was definitely unplanned. So at the time, I don't think I've told anyone this. I used to work at a doctor's surgery. I never mention it. I tend to keep it to myself and never name drop it or anything. But I came up for my graduation because I would graduate during the COVID years. My graduation was a year late, and while I was up here, I bumped into my old housemate and friend Nina Kubrick, who at the time was the VP Education for the Union of Students, and what happened was I was saying I kind of want out of my job, and also I kind of want to get out of Essex. Like once you've moved out of your hometown, it's really hard to go back to it because like Derby, I come from a village in the countryside. It's like it's hard to go back from a city to living in the tiny countryside where the average age is probably about 75. So I applied and I never heard anything. Then I got a different job working at a cruise company as an administrator. And a few months into the job, I get a text message from my old manager, Steph, and she goes, "Hi, Adam, are you still interested in the job?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I had the interview, did it over Teams because it was still technically the pandemic. And I made a terrible joke because they asked me, what would you do if you were holding an event and it didn't go well? And I said, in the words of Chumbawamba, you get knocked down, you get back up again. She said that's the reason why she hired me, and also the fact that I could reach tall shelves.
Oh yes, well you are the only person. Yes.
are.
Yeah.
I think it's the only reason I've been
Yes.
hired to a lot of the places I've worked at. And I'll be honest, I came here without a plan. I was living off my friend's sofa for a few months before I got a flat, and I was working here full time.
Nice. We have a comment on the YouTube about Adam
About me.
from Matty.
Hello, Matty.
Yes. So I used to work with Matty.
Oh, okay.
He's one of my close friends. And he said, don't ask me why I know this, but Adam definitely has the voice of someone that works in a doctor's surgery, of things of that nature. Very soft-spoken gent.
Hello, you're currently caller number 5. No, I have to say, I did have a doctor's surgery voice as well, because normally I talk a bit more like this, but it was normally a lot of elderly people in the doctor's surgery where I worked, so they'd come in and obviously they wanted to complain, but so I would always talk quite soft voice to them. I'd be like, "Hello, of course, no, I'll help. Yes, what seems to be the issue today?"
Aw.
It's like your telephone voice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think.
For me, it was unplanned, working at the union. So I had a job, and I was very, very unhappy in that job for a long time, as Matty will know because he worked with me there. So I was looking for any job, and then one came up, and it was temporary at the university. So I had actually in January applied for a job at the university, and I didn't get it. And then I saw this temporary job come up at the university in their graduation team, helping with
Right.
graduation. So I was like, right, I'll do that. And I didn't like it. And so I was sat on my lunch break one day and I was like, I need a different job. And this is temporary anyway, but I need a different job. I don't love this. And then I was just like looking at jobs at the university, and obviously the union came up, and I saw my job was listed as like a job going, and it was the last day to apply.
Oh,
So I quickly applied for it, and then had 2 interviews for it and got the job.
yeah.
But yeah. So and that's how we all ended up working here.
Wow. But I didn't realise it was so last minute, like on the day
Oh,
it
yeah.
closed, you saw it. Wow.
It was so lucky that I'd seen it on the last day,
Yeah.
because I remember specifically looking at it and being like, oh god, like, and
Go for it.
quickly. Luckily I had a cover letter already because I'd been
Yes.
applying for jobs for a while.
Yes.
Lou has said, softly spoken baby talk for boomers. And Matty said, and look at you now, Joe's hosting a radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matty's a good egg. He saw how unhappy I was in that job
Hmm.
and has seen me since, and it's sweet. Anyway, next question. What's one part of your job that students would be surprised to know you do?
Ooh.
So for those listening, we are all very student-facing roles in the union.
Oh.
Quiet.
I can go
do you know
first.
something? I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I
off
can
the
go
top of my head.
first.
There we go.
My one, I'm trying not to sound it because I feel like no matter how I word this, it's going to sound a little bit petty. But it's the fact I look after so many students. So there are over 450 reps, about 29 officers, and I have people who come down, and I saw them once when I did their training ages ago, and they expect me to know who they are.
Yeah.
I'm dreadful with names and faces, and I'd love to know as many of them as possible. But if I haven't seen you for half a year and you're expecting me to remember your name, I had one once and he said his name over and over again, and my brain wasn't processing that he was just trying to tell me what his name was to jog my memory. I had no clue who I was dealing with here. So yeah, it's the fact that I deal with just too many students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, I suppose, that people don't see. But I mean, we're going through it at the moment with I haven't actually said what my job is yet. So probably say that. So I run PAL. I'm the peer assisted learning coordinator, which is about students in second year and above. We employ them to help first year and foundation year students coming in. But I suppose one of the things is, and this is one of the things I didn't know I'd be doing when I came into the job, but is all the employment side of things, of actually employing people.
Because you do the interviews, don't you?
Yeah,
as
we do all
well?
the interviews, the onboarding, the processing, the timesheets. That's all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, a lot of the power leaders, because I say in the training, look, I do all of this. So this is the process that I've got, but we can change it or whatever, because it's just me doing it. It's not fine. It's fine, yeah. Let's see that. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah.
I've got one for Chris.
Have you?
Oh,
yeah.
What do I do?
That you don't like presentations. Yeah, oh no, you don't like doing long PowerPoints.
Oh yeah, I don't like PowerPoints.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's one of the big. I love making PowerPoints.
Yeah, you do.
Like, and Chris is just my polar opposite. He just he doesn't like them, and he tries to keep them as short and flexible. Would that be the right word?
I mean, I have done PowerPoints which are just blank before, and we fill them in as we go along.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, as part of the training.
Scares me.
Yeah, I'm a bit more like you, Adam. I do a presentation and I'll do everything on the slides.
You should see Joseph's PowerPoints. Like, she does it through Canva, so she gets all of the fancy graphics, all the colours.
Yes.
Ellie does that. Our PAL assistant Ellie does that. She uses Canva a lot, and they do look really good.
They
I have to
do.
say.
Sorry, marketing, but they look really nice, and I feel like they're more eye-catching as well.
What marketing guide? I've never seen such a thing before in my life.
Yeah.
I used to have to run all my PowerPoints by marketing because I used to go off brand.
Oh,
So
really?
often.
See, sorry, marketing. I just don't tell them. Because
I
most of
didn't
the
know they
things,
wanted
it's
to
not
see it.
official either.
Yeah.
It's like I'm doing training for council. It's like, well, it's not official union stuff. It's just I'm putting together this. It's not actually something I need to do, but I'm doing it to help the council. As a bit of a, this is what your role in council means. This is what you'll get up to through the year. So I make it colourful.
Since management changed the marketing team way before your times, I have since been told it's fine as long as it's not an external PowerPoint.
Yeah.
If it's an external, use the brand guides.
Yeah.
Or they'll be knocking at your door at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I think as well, if it's like an official thing to like the rest of the union or something, then I'd do it in the proper. But
I can see like with the inductions where we're
Yeah.
going out and presenting to a lot of people. Yeah, the message needs to be
like united front.
yeah,
and,
But yeah, no, I don't think. I think all of my. Well, the thing is, I tried to get rid of all the PowerPoints, so there we go. Then that solves the issue then of branding. But yeah, it's no, I think most of mine are just stuff I've done or Ellie's done on Canva.
Yeah.
I think I've actually got rid of most of mine now, and I'm using all of Ellie's things because it just looks nice.
What about you, Joyce?
I would say sort of like you, Adam, in the sense of like I have over 50 societies with like I don't even want to know how many committee members, but like 950 society members in total. And I think often students won't realise how big that is and how many societies that is to look after. And it is like I have help from other people in my team, but it is me looking after them. So it is something that every now and again a student will be like, well, you do look after a lot of us. I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you for realising. And I'm like, doves and stuff and butterflies are flying because I'm like, oh, you recognise it. But yeah, I think some students don't realise that I look after them all. So
No.
Yeah.
Well, it can be if they're only in one society, for example, then they're only going to see you associated in that context, aren't they? Like, you're the head of this society, kind of thing. But,
Can I add one more bit about Joyce there? Is you are more likely to find the city of Atlantis in a free moment in her calendar. Like, she will have so many meetings, and we constantly have people come down going, oh, I just wanted to come and speak to Joyce, and we're like, no, she's in meetings all day.
Yeah, it's because when I started my role, I made mandatory meetings for societies. So they have to meet with me at certain times of the year, and especially at the start of the academic year, they have to meet with me in, like, I say to them, like, September or October, and then, like, November, December, February, March. So I can get quite busy because that's a lot of societies to meet. And some of them like to meet me every month as well. So it just depends on the committees, and Matty's just said that sounds about right for Joyce. But yeah. Right, next question. How is working in education different from other types of work or industries?
Ooh.
The three of us all completely quiet again. I think for me, it's the fact that you're like student facing, but you're older student facing. So it's like you have to treat them with the respect of like, oh, they're adults. But at the same time, it's like they're still students.
Yeah.
But then you've got like some students that will be older than us. And we're in a position where we're sort of not teacher, but like authority. Like I have a few committee members that are older than me, and I'm there like, hello.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that one, anything different? I'm just trying to think. I do find in this job, no day is the same. Like in when I worked at the doctor's surgery, you had routine because you were constantly you're on the phones in the morning, then you're out on reception from the 10 to 2, and then you've gone off here, and then you're doing that. Here it's like, first of all, you're going to be replying to emails. Fine, not any normal job. Right, now go grab a basketball machine from the basement.
Yeah.
And then you're going out to host an event where you're handing out free condoms and basically stuff like that. It's
we literally had it where it was the elections, and in the office we made an obstacle course for
We
a
did.
tiny car, and we all took it in turns, and we timed each other. No, it was how many times you hit into things.
Yes.
I was the thing that people hit into because I was working.
Yeah,
You were the
Adam was
one
being
where-
good. He
You
was
were,
working.
yeah. I don't know why you weren't
Yeah.
distracted by what was going on. Yeah.
But like it's a unique atmosphere
is, yeah.
because you can just start playing with a car
Yeah.
and no one's gonna like tell you off.
Yeah.
No, only if you get management involved with the
This is
car.
the thing. My boss was like, "Yeah, go on, Joe." It was like cheering me on. So, yeah.
It did seem like a good team building exercise kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I remember once, before your time definitely, I don't know if it's before your time, we did the Crystal Maze.
That's
not
before my time.
Not the Crystal Maze experience. So the year before that we had a sports day, and it was meant to be like for a
Yes.
mental health kind of thing, where every single team in the union they were mixed up, and then we just did sports like welly wanging.
The what?
Excuse me.
The
Do you
sports
want to
day.
explain that one to us, Adam?
The sports day activity of grabbing a Wellington boot and
Okay.
throwing it, also known as welly wanging.
Okay.
Did Anton have a field day with that?
He was probably doing the most. Woo. Then we did the Crystal Maze, where we just made some fun activities. And did we get? We were going to. I don't know if we did, because Martin looked a bit like one of the old presenters. We were going to get him in one of Holly's leopard print jackets, and so he could be dressed up as the Crystal Maze. But yeah, so we do fun stuff for mental health from time to time, but they're also team building. We're all pretty close in the union.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference I've noticed, certainly. And coming from the university where I was, my team was about 50 people, and we had one manager to go to in my old job.
Yeah.
From that to, where we never did anything together. It was just impossible to get everybody
Yeah.
in a room together, really, and do stuff together. And we're all spread about different campuses at my old university as well, all of which were about an hour away from each other. So it was a bit like, from here to Chesterfield, from here to Buxton, that kind of distance. So it was, it's very different here, and I do like it, actually being part of a team, seeing my manager every day if she's not on holiday, because she's on holiday this week. but actually seeing my manager every day and seeing, being part of a team together. Yeah.
I think you're right as well. It's we're all so close. Like everyone's so friendly, and like we do like mental health breakfast mornings once a month, which that's so sweet. Like that, as a workplace that they do that. I mean, I have spoken about it before, but my job before this one, very unhappy atmosphere, very unhappy place to work. Had a lot of issues there, and so coming from somewhere where I had to be off work because of my stress was so bad from the atmosphere at work, to somewhere where it's like I enjoy coming into work because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see Chris and Adam and like everyone at work, and it's like every day it's like, oh, what am I going to get up to today? Like, am I going to like go give out condoms to students or like
I should say we do more than give out condoms to students.
we give out eye drops.
Eye drops, yeah.
Yes. But yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. So this is a fun question. If the Union was a workplace sitcom, what character would you be?
Or do we choose the sitcom as well?
Oh, you can choose a sitcom as well, yeah.
Or do we have a sitcom?
No, you can
in
choose your
mind?
sitcom
Okay.
and what character you'd be.
Okay.
I have one that if it wasn't a workplace sitcom, I know who I'd be. But if I was a workplace sitcom, I would joke and say I'm Kevin from The Office, but everyone would tell me I'm Andy.
You would be Andy.
I would be Andy. I know.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me, I could be like, oh, maybe I'm a bit of Jim, and they're like, no, you're Andy. He's such a boring character, but the thing is, he does it so well.
He does. And to be fair, Andy gets worse throughout the seasons as well. So you're like prime Andy, where he's not like
Been watered down.
Yeah. But also punching holes in walls because you don't do that yet.
Where do you think these came from?
Yeah.
You know those pictures I've got on the wall in the office? Yeah, just don't lift them up.
I'm not sure.
No.
So I would have gone The Office, but I can't think of who particularly.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd be. If it was like, The Office, I don't know. Because I love Dwight, but I'm not Dwight.
You're a little bit like Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all of them, I'd say you're most like Pam.
Yeah. I'm happy with Pam.
I think probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, the problem with The Office is they either have really good characters that you want to be but no one is ever going to be, or they have the really bad ones where no one is that bad, but if you compare them to that, it's going to be a huge insult.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know.
yeah.
Were you going to say Kevin then?
No. I always joke Kevin for me, though. I would say Oscar.
Yeah.
I mean, you always come in with your clean pressed shirts. You're always serious but still have a laugh kind of thing. It's I would say Oscar. Unless you want me to say Creed.
Oh God, you're not Creed.
See, that's the thing. There's
there's the the fire side of things, isn't there?
to be fair, the amount of times Chris has threatened to burn stuff down in Creed. However, if it wasn't a workplace sitcom, I would be Marshall Erickson from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Or also known as Big Fudge.
Big Fudge. Yes.
I don't know that.
Oh, have you not seen How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Oh, you have to watch it.
We've-
It's good. It's good. The
I don't
ending
think
sucks,
I do.
but it's good.
Is it the one that had Willow in from Buffy?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. It's that one.
Yes.
I've seen bits of it. I've not watched an episode.
That's why I watched it, because I knew Willow was
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I need to watch it.
I was like, who's Willow? And then it just hit me. I was like, yeah, Alison Steadman.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's her name.
Yeah.
She was in it.
Not Willow.
Yes. And was she the mother?
No.
Well,
Or is that a big spoiler?
no,
thing?
she's not the mother. no.
Okay.
She's
Right.
Aunt Lily.
She's Aunt Lily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she'll always be Willow to me. So.
Yeah. I think if it was just sitcom, I'd probably be Monica from Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Monica Chandler mix.
I know you can. Yeah.
I'd be
yeah,
Chandler
yeah.
Ross.
Isn't it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a text
You
message.
got a text message.
From Owen. I was just about to ask about How I Met Your Mother.
Oh. The what?
That-
Oh, there we go.
How I Met Your Mother. That's the sitcom we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I find it weird, this sort of the outside world intruding on this.
Intruding?
Yeah.
We have
How dare all of you intrude?
people. You may joke, but people actually do listen to
It's
us. Chris.
weird, yeah. It's like you're reading the comments from YouTube, and yeah. I
That's
just find
nice.
it because it doesn't feel like that. It feels like we're just sitting around
Having a
chatting,
chat,
in the
yeah.
office or whatever. But yeah, there's people out there. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lou.
Oh, sorry, Sky changed it. It's only that camera now.
Oh, hello, Lou.
It's so warm in here.
It's
It is
really warm.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Matty said, imagine being a listener to this. Could never be me. Well, to be fair, I've finished that portion of questions.
Wow.
So we can go on to music.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
some,
we get to put the fan on.
That's what I was just thinking. So we've got 1 minute and 28 seconds left.
Oh, what should we do for a minute?
We could
28
just
seconds?
say what our roles actually are, because I realised we're talking about the fact we work at the union, but we, other than you, Chris, you did actually
I
say
did
what
say.
your role is. Adam, do you want to say what your role is?
Yes. Hi everyone. My name's Adam, and I am the student representation coordinator. My title is different depending on who you ask, because then it's like the voice coordinator brackets representation.
You've got brackets.
I
yes.
don't like the
Yeah.
brackets. I like
Yes.
representation coordinator. It's got oomph to it. So I basically support student reps and student officers. The student reps are your representatives on your course, so any feedback you have about your course or your academic experience, please go talk to them. The officers are like them, but higher up, and they can access higher up levels of the university, and they cover education sides and the EDI side as well. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. What about you, Joyce, in the 32 seconds you've got?
I'm the activities coordinator, brackets, societies.
Oh, you got brackets.
I've got brackets. Hopefully it will be societies and communities.
Ooh.
Hopefully. So I look after all of our societies at the Union of Students. Yeah, that's it, really.
You have meetings with them.
I have meetings with them. I look after them. Right, so we've now got 2 songs by Justin Timberlake.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh,
But
don't apologise.
I hope you enjoy. Welcome back
To
Uncoordinated
with Adam
and Jose.
And Chris.
Love it.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. So today we're talking about careers. So the next couple of questions is about education versus experience. It's mostly just because the three of us here all have degrees.
Just not. I didn't specialise in history.
Yes, me and Chris.
Might not all have the right degrees.
Yeah. Media.
Not even that. I went niche.
Well, I mean, we could start off with, what did we all do our degrees in, Adam?
I'll start. So I looked at media studies and thought, you know what? Media students have it way too easy with all of those many careers they could go into with media. So I did something far niche, and I did radio productions. So that was focusing on... I don't like the title, though, because it wasn't just radio. It's radio podcast. It really should have been called audio productions. And like I would make radio dramas, I would present radio shows, I would make podcasts. I even did a bit of voice acting back in the day. One of them ended up on the BBC.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been on the BBC?
Yeah,
What were you in? What do we know it?
Oh no, you definitely won't know it.
Can we bring it up? Can we play it?
Oh god, no.
In the break, I'll try and find it.
Oh, it was another student's project, and it was about it was a World War II drama. And
I think you've told me.
a bunch of the actors didn't turn up. And they go, Adam, how good are you at accents? And I go, I like to think I'm good, but other people say otherwise. I had to play like 7 or 8 characters. I was the main character, who was a Cockney. And I, like, to be fair though, the Cockney accent's just like a deeper, slower version of the Essex accent. Because if you, oh my god, like you start up like that, all right, and it's proper Essex. But then if you slow it down a bit and you go a bit deeper, you know, it's the Cockney accent. It kind of goes like that, really. And I have to do my love, I'm calling for you from the front line. It's not a good time and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's good though. That's good.
Thank you. I also had to be a British general, saying, right, gentlemen, we will be going over the top in 3.5 hours, kind of thing. I also had to be hello, you're listening to the BBC.
Yes.
I was also a German general. I was a German spy. The only other actor was the guy who wrote it, and he put himself as the secondary character. So he only played one role. Meanwhile, I'm there doing all these different ones. And my wife was the only other one who didn't.
Okay.
I managed to get quite a lot of different random experience. I ended up on the BBC a few times as their YouTube correspondent.
A YouTube correspondent.
I would talk about what was trending online.
That's cool.
Right, there's my niche degree. How about your ones?
I mean, mine's shorter than yours, Dr. Chris. So yeah, mine was just in history, bachelor's degree in history. My dissertation was on disabled victims of the Holocaust, being forgotten victims. So that's like my favourite and sort of specialist area, I like to say.
It's really interesting because it's not like as you were saying earlier, it's not, you know, all happy clappy or positive particularly. It really is quite powerful but
well, it was interesting because when I was picking my dissertation topic, it was either thalidomide. Do you know what thalidomide is? So back in like the 50s, I want to say 50s, 60s maybe, basically there was a drug given to pregnant women and other women as well, and it had really negative side effects. And pregnant women, it basically meant that babies were born like not fully formed and developed, so they would have missing limbs and things like that, and it was really sad. But basically the company who made the drug were like, oh no, it's fine, it's not doing this, like it's fine, for years. And then it turned out like, oh no, they knew it caused this in like pregnant women. But yeah, so it's a bit of a fun fact, not fun. But yeah, so I was going to do my dissertation on that, but then I really wanted to do Holocaust studies because that's like my favourite area, but I kept being told, no, it's been done, it's already been done, everything's been done on it. And then I was like, oh, well, I can't find anything on disabled victims of the Holocaust, and they're always missed out on the documentaries and things you watch and like listen to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to do it anyway. So like over Christmas, I just changed my topic, started writing it, and to be fair, they actually really loved my topic in the end. But yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Dr. Chris?
Oh, yes.
Because your doctorate is different to what you did at undergrad, isn't it?
No.
No?
It was ancient history all the way through. So the subjects and time periods changed a bit, but no, generally the same all the way through. So yeah, I did my bachelor's. I did Latin at my bachelor's. That's what I did, and then consequently forgot it all. So
I came, I saw, I forgot.
yes, that was it. It was something like that. I think he said actually. But no, I did ancient history, and then did ancient history classics for Glasgow for my masters, and then went to Wales to do my PhD, which was the longest thing I've ever done in my life.
Was it
yes.
worth it?
Well, I'd always say, because I did that PhD thing, and I know a lot of PhD students go through it, and postgrad research students. But when you're with a long project for such a long time, you're going to have points where you just think it's not worth carrying on. I'm going to quit. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go out and actually go in the real world and get a proper job. But yeah, I got through it, and I always say, like, even if I did quit it partway through, which I nearly did, in the middle of COVID. And but I'd always think, well, I'd never regret doing it because it's kind of got me to where I am today. And I have read a little bit on my old subject again, which was, my old subject was sort of varied, but it was on, you describe it very well actually.
How I described it.
The pressure on Adam right now.
But you did say something the other day, and I thought, well, that's it in a kind of sentence. But
it was to do with pots, wasn't it, or something?
Pots
around the Greek conclaves or enclaves round the Turkish coast.
It was Greek
Yes.
Greek city-states in the
Greek
Turkish coast.
I remembered something to do with pots.
Maybe not pots. Maybe it was inscriptions.
It might. Yeah.
So I worked a lot with these letters on stone for my doctorate. So basically, anything could be written on stone. Anyone could write it on stone, and stone is the thing that survives. Whereas all the papyrus and things that people actually wrote day-to-day things on doesn't, unless you're in Egypt. There's a lot in Egypt. There we go.
Or if you're a Mesopotamian copper merchant.
Yeah, well, that's on stone, you see. Yeah. But that's why they were written on stone.
Yes. Just to clarify, there is a famous meme of a tablet that one of the oldest tablets ever recorded is a man complaining about bad copper that he got in a purchase with a merchant. And now everyone knows about how bad of a copper salesman this man was all these years ago. Sorry, I wanted to clarify because I realised it makes no sense for anyone else. Carry on, Chris.
But no. I mean, maybe another way of putting my PhD in a nutshell is how to become a king.
Oh, yeah.
That's another way of looking at it. So rather than looking at the kings and starting there, I look at the city-states that might be or might not be in their kingdom. Depends who you ask. But the city-states that interact with the king on different levels anyway, and how that does or does not lend legitimacy. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it?
That sounds very good.
That lends legitimacy to their rule.
Well, one of my questions was, if you could go back, would you still choose the same degree?
No.
No?
No. I know what I'd do education.
Oh.
Yeah?
I would do education studies.
What, to be a teacher?
No, I to do a similar job to what I'm doing now.
Oh, okay.
But I really liked, I did a PG cert teaching qualification thing, and just really enjoyed that while I was doing that, and I thought that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
In a sense of, for career, life, whatever. That's what I want to do, and that's kind of what I've ended up doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely go back and do education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a good teacher.
Oh, thank you.
I'm slightly torn because if it weren't for this degree, I wouldn't have met so many amazing people that I have in my time. Like, I made so many friends through university, and through them I've made so many more friends. I joined the debate society and all that other stuff, and I don't know if I would have gone down that same route because if I took a different course I might have ended up at a different university. However, if I were to go for a different degree and it would allow me to keep all the same friends, all the same people, I would have gone for international relations. Because I would have loved to have been a diplomat.
Yeah. You would have been good.
I will admit I did recently look at diplomatic jobs recently, and I didn't go for it because it was the only one out of all of them I was qualified for, and my experience would fit into that wage bracket. However, it was in the country of Djibouti, and I'll be honest, it was like there for quite a few months throughout the year, and then like you're spending half the year there, half the year in the UK, and it's also its neighbouring countries aren't famously safe. So
I don't. Wait, what was it?
Djibouti.
Where's that?
It's between Ethiopia and Somalia.
Oh, okay.
And there's, as far as I'm aware, I think I told my dad about this, and he was like, "I'm fairly certain there's no airports in Djibouti, so you'd have to go through one of the neighbouring countries." And I was like, "Yeah, that's probably not a bad shout, but I'd love to go into diplomacy one day. Just other countries acting like I'm better than everyone else, because I'm just like, I get to come home and see all my friends and be like, I've travelled for work and I get paid for it." Yeah. What about you, Joyce?
No, I think I would always do a history degree, because I love history, and I don't think there's any other degree I'd want to do. I was tempted to do like a not masters, but like a teaching after my degree, but a close family member told me I'd be bad at it, and it knocked my confidence in myself.
Okay, well, that's nice.
But we've actually, I'll tell you
Are they listening?
No, but I'll tell you who it was in the break. But we do have a comment, and it's actually from Michelle, who, so my first day of doing my degree, it was the welcome week, and I actually met Michelle, and because we were both like, we were at one of the different campuses, and they were like, go back to Kettleston Road, and there's a presentation. And me and her were like, how do we get there? And then I overheard George, my partner, saying he was going to walk it. And so I turned around and said to her, I was like, well, they're walking. Should we follow them? Went over and said to him, and I was like, can we follow you? And he was like, yeah, sure. That's how I met my best friend and my partner, all in the space of a few minutes. But she said... she would have been tempted to switch to accounting after week 2. Still met me, but studied something that makes more money. Because she did history, and she did integrated masters in history as well. But she focused on heritage. Because she wanted to work at like Chatsworth House and things like that. But no, I always wanted to do either like teaching after my degree, or there was this amazing Holocaust studies masters at, I think it was Nottingham Trent. Really wanted to do that. I wish I had done that, but then I don't know where I'd be today. No. So obviously I love my current job and things. But yeah.
Southampton as well, because in Wales there was a good friend of mine who was a lecturer in Holocaust studies. But they employed him as like a modern historian lecturer. They did all sorts really. But his research specialism was, and he went on to do at University of Southampton. They've got a big Holocaust studies department. He's gone there because he can just research.
If they have a part-time online masters, I would be, because I would love to do a like part-time online masters in Holocaust studies, but I haven't been able to find one.
How long is a part-time online course normally?
It's normally like 2 years for a master's.
Is it?
It's longer for a like doctorate.
Is it cheaper though because you're doing it over 2 years, like because it's spread out?
No, it's about the same. It's just.
What I mean is, would I only be paying like half on 1 year and then half on the other? As in, like, I'm still paying the same price as a full-time master's, but I'll be paying.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much.
I would have thought they'd split it.
Because I'm like looking to do it. Like, I'd love to do international relations. Is also really good, especially with the political, geographical, economic state of the world at the moment.
Avarice.
I'm sorry. I've just realised we have 15 seconds left.
Oh, did we? What's going on next?
So next is a bit of Ariana Grande. So we'll see you after a bit of Ariana Grande. I can't pronounce the other singer.
The one.
The Wannadies.
One of these. Oh, that's Adam's.
That's my request.
That's your
request.
request.
See you in a bit.
And it's always you and me, always. Hello and welcome back to...
Seamless, that was.
It's like the music never ended. Hello and welcome back to Uncoordinated with Adam.
And Joyce.
And Chris.
Do you know people on YouTube don't hear the songs? So to
Oh.
them, you
they
just
not?
no, it doesn't play any songs.
'Cause
So
of
to them,
copyright.
it's just Adam starting singing a random lyric.
That's what we should do instead, is when the music's playing and we can't do it for copyright reasons, just add an extra microphone and mic me up, and it's just, and it's always you and me. And the reason I picked that song is it reminds me of Coronation Street when Gail's family got driven into a river.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next
Okay.
segment, James?
So what? Before we go on, sorry.
Yes,
What do they hear then?
it's just nothing. It goes quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry,
it plays
everyone.
Yeah.
it plays the lo-fi hip-hop bed, apparently.
Does
What
it?
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Um,
there's a little like background.
Yeah, so they've
Yeah.
still...
music thing.
But it's more like that kind of music. Where it's got
Oh,
no
okay.
scene. Yeah.
Oh.
The radio will play the music, but yeah.
Oh, that's YouTube, is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Only the... Otherwise, it's just us listening to music the whole
Yeah,
time.
well, that's what I was wondering.
Us in the studio,
Yeah.
like,
We were rocking out there. I don't know what all you were doing.
We were.
And at the end, it's just me going, and that was that song. You didn't get to listen to it, but we did, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
yeah. Matthew said, yeah, YouTube copyright is unbelievably strict.
Oh, did they not?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I can see what's coming up, but I don't like it. Yeah.
So, going back to our topic of conversation today, which is careers. So this is challenges and setbacks.
Oh,
So-
that's like an interview question, isn't it?
Yes, I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I hate that question.
Oh.
I hate the what's your weakness question.
Oh,
My
yeah.
weakness
Yeah.
is I care too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what advice would you give someone who is struggling to find a job? Because we're going to have lots of students
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah.
people trying to find a job right now.
I'm going to be completely brutally honest here. The job market is absolutely dreadful at the moment.
Yeah.
It's tough. I was in the same boat when I graduated because I had the COVID year, and it still seems as bad, if I'm honest with you. The only thing you can do, and I'm referencing what I said in my job interview that I mentioned earlier, is you get knocked down, you get back up again. You're going to have to keep applying.
Yeah.
A lot. It definitely happened to me when I first graduated as well. Is I was like, I'm applying for one job, and that's the job. They're going to hire me now. I've got a degree now, and it's like the job market is so bad at the moment. You need to apply for so many because just as many people who are as good for the job have also gone for it, and you've even got people who used to be in management positions have gone down for these lower jobs, so they've got more skills and they're going for lower prices. So just keep swimming, and I need to stop doing random movie references. Just keep at it and don't let it dishearten you. I know nobody replies to their emails anymore and they don't give you updates, but sooner or later,
You'll find something.
que sera, whatever will be, will be.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think, you just got to keep trying. And don't get disheartened as well when you're not getting jobs, because you will eventually find something.
Even
it
if it's not what you set out.
Yeah,
to
well, that's the
go,
thing.
yeah.
After uni, I was still working at Costa, and I was like, I really don't want to work at Costa anymore. I was like, I just want an office job. And I ended up working for a construction company. So, I had a good and bad time there.
Yeah.
At the end, very bad. But it was something that I never thought I would do. But it was a job, and I took it. And, everything happens for a reason, and it led me to where I am now. So,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
just
No.
keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
I think I'd agree with that. I mean, it is, but yeah, I am quite shocked, like these days, how difficult it is. Just in the last couple of years, even it just seems to have been. I'm quite shocked by like the interview processes, and these interview processes that you have to go through. Do an aptitude test, do the CV,
yeah.
cover letter, go through 2-3 rounds of interviews, and that.
Yeah.
But that just shows how many people are going for that, how much the interviewers and employers have to whittle down until they can actually, employ somebody for one position. There just seems to be so many applicants for each for each role recently.
What you need to do is just walk in there with a shirt and tie on, hand them your CV. The amount of times I've had like other relatives tell me this, and it's just like the world's not the job market's not the same as it was back then.
No.
Like
You'd be lucky if you walked into somewhere, gave them your CV, and
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'll hire
Yeah.
you now." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you'd
think
be
that would
very-
be weird, actually.
yeah.
What?
You'd be like, "Do you not want to talk to me?"
why don't you email Jeff Bezos directly and tell him you're
Yes.
such a big fan and that you'll even work for a lower price? He'll have to hire you because he can. Like
Yeah.
just
But-
those people just drive me insane.
Yeah. Well, it's even like getting a job here. Like, I think most of us had to do some sort of presentation. Sort
I
of
didn't.
thing.
Everyone else seemed to have. I think it was because everyone had COVID when I applied,
Yeah.
and that's why I didn't hear
Yeah.
back. And then they were like, "Oh, well, let's see if he's still interested."
Yeah.
I still had to do an interview, but it was like I didn't have to do a presentation.
Yeah. I didn't do a presentation.
No,
on
you did a
purpose.
training
I
session.
just
Yeah.
The task was show us like, or tell us the a training session you'd run for students, for panel leaders, and I went in. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to show you, and we actually did the training session in the interview, hence why I opened with an icebreaker in my interview, because that's how I always do the panel training. But yeah, it was so I didn't do that, but it was like a bit of a demonstration of this is what it will be, this is what it looks like, and then we went into boring questions. Whether they were they were very exciting, I'm sure. I can't remember any of them.
I think you told me like someone had a ham sandwich.
Oh no, that was the question I asked them. That was the icebreaker.
Oh, I thought that was what you were referencing. Was
No. And then we went into when they're asking me questions. I can't remember what any of them
I can't remember what mine
were.
was. Yeah.
What did you have to do for yours?
I had to do a presentation, but they gave me like a topic, and it was like, how would you get these student groups engaged with the union and with societies? So it was like student parents and things like that, mature students. So I had to do a presentation on that. I looked at other unions, what they have. I got the website, I changed what it looks like.
Oh, did you?
I did. I did bar charts and statistics, everything. I went all out because I really wanted this job.
Well, it worked.
It did work.
Yes.
It's
because you had 2 interviews there. So
I did.
What did you do differently? What was the second?
My second interview was they couldn't decide between me and one other person, and so basically my manager was like, "Oh, can you come in for a chat?" Basically, it was an interview, but it was just me and him sat down in a room having a chat, and he just asked me more questions to get to know me. So it was like, what kind of music do you like, and what inspires you, and things like that. And I just answered honestly. Told him I had autism, and so does my brother, and that's why I work so hard to prove to him like you can have autism and still like have a great job and do great things in life. But yeah, more Matthias said more the personality test, the second one.
Yeah, that's
it
quite
is,
interesting.
yeah.
I've never done one like that, actually.
Yeah. Well, he said it was because it was between me and one other person, so he was trying to figure out who would work best in the team.
I think personality test, though, in a way, is a good thing to have because you want to make sure that they're going to fit into the team.
Yeah.
It's like, did you know at Google, and I did steal this from the internship, they have something that they call, when they do their interviews, the layover test. And it's because if you were in a layover and you're stuck at an airport, who would you rather be talking to? The person who's got all of these degrees and will only talk to you about computer coding, or the person who can actually have a nice conversation with you, ask you how your day is, what music you listen to. And I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our next question: how do you handle burnout at work?
Cry in the toilets for half.
What?
That's where you were.
Yeah.
Personally, a day off.
Yeah.
I think, book
I'm
yourself
not very
some
good at
time
those.
off.
How much annual leave do you have to left to take before August, Chris?
I do have some.
I have loads as well.
Yes.
I've got 6
Yeah.
days left to use.
I have 10.
I think I've got about 10.
Yeah.
I think you've
Yeah.
got more. I thought you had like 12, 13.
I didn't know.
I had 12, and then I've just booked off Friday and Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a very long weekend, which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
I've just booked off a long weekend in June to go and see the family. It's Father's Day, and we're getting a bin lid. For those who don't know, a bin lid.
It's just what he's always wanted, I'm sure.
A bin lid, because where I'm from we're quite close to the coastline, and we're also close to famous fishing areas. So it's called a bin lid, but it's basically a massive tray, and you've got what have you got? You've got oysters, cockles,
yes.
roll mops,
Yes.
crab.
I don't know what a roll mop is.
Oh, a roll mop's lovely. It is a pickled fish that's rolled up and it's got onions inside. And it sounds disgusting, but I quite like pickled stuff. It's in the name.
Dip
I'll
that in
try it.
ice cream.
I would indeed. Yes.
See where you can buy roll mops. I think you'd like them.
Matty's just said, burnout, you should know, Jose, we suffer through it. Burnout since 2024. Yeah, I mean, I had very bad burnout when I worked with Matty. Not because of Matty. But yeah, I think if it's that severe, leave. Like, that's what I had to end up doing. I mean, I was written off by my doctor for some time, but then I just was like, do you know what? Nope. Just need to leave. But that's in extreme circumstances, I'd say, of like burnout. I'd say just taking time off, or
even as well, like even if you don't have annual leave available, I find sometimes working out of the office, whether it's working from home, sometimes help. Even if it's working in another room in the building, I have in my support plan, me and my old manager referred to them as Disney princess tasks. And it's because I used to lock myself away in the tower, and it would just allow me to get out of the office, not have all the noise, and just be able to focus on one task and not be distracted.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, certainly with the annual leave, but also with that. I mean, I've been quite enjoying my work from home days actually.
Yes.
I've never really used. I mean, all my previous jobs and all through COVID. I was a care worker in COVID, so we didn't get to work from home. So it was, we didn't get those days unless we had COVID. So this is the first place really where I've actually used my work from home days, and I do quite enjoy it actually, just having that peace and quiet at home, and just being able to crack on with whatever. And then,
I think that's the thing where we work. It's quite full on.
It's quite busy.
It's quite busy. We're all very busy people, especially like those of us in student-facing roles, constantly having to reply to students and help students and things like that.
Especially at the start of the year.
Start of the academic years. So I've loved my work from home day because it's meant, for one, I can catch up on like emails and things. Because when you're working in the office, students will come in. And ask you questions, and that's fine, but then you get distracted, or someone will be like, oh, can I have this from you? And it's just, for me as well, it's that I look after myself because I work from home one day and I can get the stuff done that I have been not able to do, and that means I'm not coming into work and I'm like, oh, I've got all of this to do and I'm behind.
But also you're kind of having a day of not being physically student facing. You're having a day of
not being anyone facing as well. Sometimes you need a day. No, I quite like that bit. Just having just being there, and not, I can have the radio on or whatever, but I'll just be not talking to people, or not doing that. I love talking to people. I do love talking to people, but I think I do need a break from it every so often.
You just need to recharge your batteries. I quite like it because I'm quite a music snob, and I still listen to records like it's 2016, and I like being able to listen to my record, because the kind of stuff you have on records isn't the same way you just get it up on Spotify, because you're listening to a whole album as well. Last time I was working from home,
that's how I started listening to music.
But I have to say, I quite like it when I do work from home. I don't do it often. I need to do it a bit more probably. I have all of my nan's albums from the attic. Like, she gave me a whole collection. And the last time I was working from home, I was just replying to emails with the Glenn Miller Band in the background,
nice.
So it's very nice.
Yeah.
We've gone quite relaxing now, haven't we?
We have.
We've all gone into relaxation voices.
Oh, there we go.
Hello, welcome to Relaxation with Adam and Jose and Chris.
Why did you go slightly higher for Chris?
Because you... unintentional. It was just when we do it, we go, Adam, and Joyce, and then you take a second, then you go, and Chris.
Oh, was I meant to say something?
No. It's because when I did it, Joyce was saying I went a bit higher for you, but it was more of it was meant to be the pause of when you tune in.
He can go higher. I've heard him.
Yeah.
Hello. I can't do it in a whispery voice though.
No.
It's not, and if I do it too loudly,
Well,
I end
that'll
up
wake
sounding,
them up on the other end.
I end up sounding like Mickey Mouse. Oh, hey, Puddle. Oh.
You do.
You do sound it, yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Right. Well, our last question of this section. What are the biggest challenges you have faced at work?
Ooh.
Deep question.
Current work or any work?
Well, I haven't got specific, so.
Can I reference the job that everyone says I reference too much?
That you've referenced. What is this? The third time today?
On today's show.
We should have taken shots.
Yeah.
play bingo. So it was a very stressful job for me. It was the pandemic. It was dealing with elderly people. When I worked at the co-op, they were some of the best people. But then when I was working at the doctor's surgery, they all act like that they deserve to get in no matter what. Like I had people come in with like ingrown toenails going, I need to see the doctor today. It was such a stressful... What was the question again before I go off on a run?
Biggest challenges you faced.
Yeah. So the local MP had a file on me.
Oh.
And I should say, he was very close to becoming the leader of the Tory party. And if he did,
Him, yeah.
one of the most powerful people in the country had a file on me, but he didn't. He was like third place. So he had a file on me called The Young Man at the Doctor's Surgery.
Oh, that sounds like a good story, that.
It sounds like a David Walliams book.
It does, yeah.
David Walliams and The Young Man at the Doctor's Surgery. Because I was the only man there, apart from the doctors themselves. And I have to say, a lot of them were very out of date and were surprised that a man was working on reception. Like I had people come in and go, "Oh, hello, doctor," and I go, "No, I'm not the doctor."
Yeah.
And you hear a lot of stories you don't want to hear, and not ones I can repeat on the radio. But yeah, I got reported so many times by the public, and it wasn't for me doing anything wrong. The NHS is in such a state that, when you tell people there are no appointments. Appointments would be gone within 10 minutes of the phones being open, and everyone would be like, "Oh, but I've been calling since 7," and it's like, we understand that, but so has everyone else.
Yeah.
It was especially, I like to think of myself as a helpful person, and when you can't help people, the amount of stress that gave me, and people blame you. Like I had someone blame me for their mum getting ill, and it's like, I would help you if I could. Please go to the urgent treatment centre. And then like, no, it's your fault. And it's like, that weighs on you. And yet I was very bad at trying not to take my work home with me. I'll let someone else answer as we're running out of time for the segment.
We're running out of time?
We've got 2 minutes and you guys haven't answered
Oh,
yet.
okay. Well, you go ahead.
I'm not going to keep talking about my job that was absolutely awful. Biggest challenge. Do you know what? I was a carer. A personal, like, private carer for this young woman, and we went to Florida. Like, she goes on holiday every year and she takes a couple of carers with her, and it's like her and her dad go and then the carers. And it was on this holiday that I realised they were very big racists. And I found that really, really difficult because you have to almost stay professional. But then at the same time, it's like, well, you're saying things that I'm really against. And I think I made it quite clear I didn't agree. Not in an argumentative way, but just in a way of like, I don't agree with you. I don't think the same way you both do. As soon as we got back to the UK, I was fired. Like I went for a shift, and at the end of my shift, her dad was like, right, well, we don't need you to come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because I'd also missed my grandma's funeral to go to Florida with them.
Wow.
And I have a lot of stories about being a private carer, but I'm not going to say those on the radio. But yeah, that was a very difficult challenge because you're sort of taking care of that person. But
Yes.
yeah,
Then you end up really not liking that person as a person. There we go. Yeah. Have we got
You've
time?
got 37 seconds.
Go.
37 seconds. Well, mine's sort of similar in the sense of, I used to be a carer, but it was more, I kind of conceived a bit I can't even say that.
Empathy.
Empathize.
Empathize.
There we go. I've wasted 10 seconds saying that now, haven't I?
19 seconds remaining.
But with your situation, that frustration, because I worked as a carer for the local council while I was doing my PhD in Wales, and really loved it. I loved the job. Loved working with people there. Is that it? Are we gone?
Oh, sorry, Chris.
There we go. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
We're still on.
Yeah, it's.
No, it's playing music
Oh,
now.
there we go.
Sorry, Chris.
Oh,
we'll have
there
to
we go.
pick it
That's
up
all right.
after the break. But now is Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, and then Down by Fifth Harmony. Enjoy.
Hello. Oh, the AC's on.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh,
Definitely couldn't hear that, could you?
Welcome back.
to
Uncoordinated.
Uncoordinated with Adam.
And Jose.
and Chris.
And Chris can finish his story.
Matty was very unhappy that Chris didn't finish.
Hashtag justice
Thank
for Chris.
you for the support online. There we go. What was it, Matty? Did you
Matty,
say? Matty,
yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Matty. I'm trying to think where we were now, but I thought, well, we'll just go back to the beginning because I don't think I was very far in. So yeah, when I worked as a carer in there, and and back in Wales while I was doing my PhD, and really enjoyed the work, really loved it there, and that was for the local council. But we always had, there's a lot of hand gestures going on.
I'm trying not to interrupt your story.
Carry on, Chris.
I'll keep talking. That'll distract
I'm
them
just trying to
all.
say, oh, you put it on twice.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you hadn't moved it.
Oh, I moved it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it was
everyone.
still there.
Poor Chris is trying to say.
I was trying not to interrupt you so you could carry on with your story. Go.
I was trying to
It's just
carry
Adam
on.
going.
I got distracted there. There you go. Right, we'll go back. So I was working as a carer for the local council, and really lovely people I worked with. It was generally adults with learning disabilities, all under 65, and over. Well, they actually got a bit younger as time went on. I think 16 was the sort of minimum age I worked with. But we did really lovely things, really lovely activities, and then COVID hit, and it all shut down. So I think that was one of my big struggles was trying to get through that with them, because I worked with them before COVID, and obviously we'd all seen how good it could be before then, and all the things we could do, go out and do what we want. Most of the people there were one-to-one support, so it was very much that if they wanted to go somewhere, we just do it,
Yeah.
because that's what we're there for, to support them to do it. So it was very much that. The guy I worked with was 2-to-1 support, because he had a violent incident like 15 years ago, and everyone remembered that.
Oh.
So obviously he needs 2-to-1 support for the rest of his life,
Oh.
because he was violent one time. But there we go.
It's all it takes. It used to be the same for the nurses.
Yeah, it was. But that's a bit of that's the bit I really struggled with was trying to change things in that environment. It was a local council, so it wasn't a good place to try and change things to begin with. But they were very stuck in their ways, but they're so risk averse to doing anything that might, hurt staff or hurt service users, or any risk there, that it was just so oppressive by the end. I felt like it was like, oh, we can't do anything with the people we support anymore. It was just really quite disheartening to do that. That's one of the reasons why I left Wales as well. That's my story. Was it worth the wait?
It
He
was.
did comment again, going, "Justice for Chris 2.0."
We won't interrupt your stories ever again.
Sorry. Wow. To finish off, I thought we'd do a fun this or that work edition instead of my questions.
Okay.
So back-to-back meetings or spread out meetings.
Spread out meetings.
Spread out, yeah.
Oh, I like back-to-back.
Do you?
Day goes quicker.
It goes quicker, but I hate the stress of, oh, that meeting's overrun, and then you're turning up and like, sorry everyone, sorry, and you get into your chair, and then they're like, oh, we've already started the meeting, we'll fill you in later.
Yeah.
Reply all disaster or forgetting to attach the file again.
What's reply all disaster?
So like you reply all by accident.
Oh, no.
I think forgetting to attach the file
Yeah,
Again.
is the better option
Yeah.
out of those two.
I think so too.
definitely.
Because imagine if you were sending it to someone and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this email,"
Yeah.
and then you reply.
Yeah,
to
reply all.
everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. Oh, this is a funny one for the fact we're on radio. Mic on when it shouldn't be, or camera on when it shouldn't be.
Oh, I've been in a fair few of those.
Can I ask
Yeah.
the camera on when it shouldn't be?
So like as in,
When you're on Teams.
yeah.
So is there a point where the
So like when you're
camera shouldn't be on?
say the camera's on and you forget that it's on, and I don't know, maybe
I'll go and do
Josephine says something on camera online, and she goes, oh, I really think that Chris of all people needs to start doing more, and you just suddenly go like that.
Yeah.
Or or you just do rude hand gestures, or whatever. It's like, yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's worse, really, though.
I'd rather have the camera on because not everyone pays attention to the cameras of the other people.
Well, because
Whereas-
imagine if like your mic was on and then you said something, or
Because the mic then highlights you.
yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say camera on then.
Camera.
Office mystery dish,
Oh.
or team building trustful.
I don't know what a mystery dish.
So I'm guessing this is everyone brings in a mystery dish,
Oh,
and then you try everyone's dishes, or a team building trustful.
mystery dish.
Mystery dish.
I'd go
yeah.
mystery dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be intrigued to see what everyone made.
No offense to my team, but if I fell, I don't know how much I trust them to catch me.
Well,
You're
Steph
very
would just
tall.
be laughing.
Steph would purposely move out the way.
So that leaves me in the
Also,
next set.
To be like,
I'm quite big and heavy. I feel like people will move out the way of me, kind of thing.
Aw. Work from home in pajamas or dress up and commute.
See, I don't. Even when I'm working from home, I don't work in my pajamas. I
Yeah,
still
I
sort of
don't.
put something.
When
yeah.
I dress up, I actually feel like I'm because I put the effort in. I'm more likely to have a day where I feel productive.
Hmm.
Whereas if I'm still in my pajamas, it's like I feel lazy and I'm. Not
I think that's a good point. I feel like if I'm in my pajamas, it doesn't really feel like I'm not really in that mood then. Yeah.
Even if it's just a t-shirt and jeans, I've put the effort in to get dressed, so I'm gonna.
Yeah.
What do you think? What did you say, Jace?
I'd go dress up and commute.
Yeah. Depends on the commute, maybe. Because I mean. You know,
I mean, I've done 2-hour commutes before, and I hated it.
I live
Yeah.
so far away. It's such a pain to commute into work. It's.
You know, that's
Yeah.
it. Because it's like you, and there's like Molly in the office as well, and you know.
My
people
commute
do
is
have
now
to
an
travel.
hour.
Like when you guys turn up before me and I half an hour walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. 500 unread emails or surprise presentation.
Surprise presentation.
Yeah. Surprise presentation.
Oh no, emails. I
No,
would
no.
prefer emails.
I can easily wing a presentation. I've done it many times before.
Well, for the presentation, I just do, like I do in the power training, where we have a blank presentation slide and we fill it in as we go along.
Yeah.
and also, a lot of presentations, as much as Chris hates it, have text on that you can read. Where it's like, and as long as you say it with confidence, people won't know. Yeah.
Co-worker who talks too loud, or co-worker who types like a jackhammer.
That
Now, I
describes our
feel-
entire team.
Yeah, I think that's.
I feel
that's
like I
really-
type really loudly.
Do you?
I don't
I've never
know.
noticed.
I tend
it.
to have headphones on in the office, so
Okay.
I don't.
I've never noticed you typing.
No. It was a funny thing when I worked with Matty. He used to know when I was angry because he could tell from the way I was typing if I was angry typing
I think
to
you guys have
something.
commented on my typing before, and they're like, "Oh, that's a very aggressive enter."
No, I think we have actually. See, Steph knows when I'm sending something to her
Oh,
from the typing.
yeah. Is it angry typing?
I think
I
I'd
don't
rather
know
have.
why. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'd rather have angry typing over a loud
Yeah.
colleague,
Hmm.
because like typing you can easily drown out with headphones.
Yeah.
But like, there's only so much you can turn headphones up before someone talking very loudly is
Yeah.
interrupting.
Yeah.
Matty said, "Ha ha ha! I was literally going to say this sounds very us, Joes." Yes, but to be fair, that job was 6 people in an office, so you kind of very quickly understood if someone was not happy.
Yeah.
Monday morning motivation speech or Friday 4:59 p.m. meeting.
Oh no.
Monday morning
yeah.
motivation
Yeah, Monday
speech.
morning.
Monday morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
wants to be here at like 5 p.m. on a Friday?
I'm just going
We
to
are all gone.
for a second. Have we only got 50 seconds before the next song?
Are we?
Or is there another?
No, there's
Oh
another
no, one
bed.
more bed. Okay.
One more
Because
bed.
that's normally
Sorry,
when we have to say goodbye. and-
Everyone can hear my
Bye-bye.
like.
Would you rather have loud clicking or someone who interrupts you?
No, we have technically 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget your laptop at home or forget your boss's name in a meeting.
Forget my boss's name in a meeting because I feel like I can easily just go, yeah, so you're going to sort that out, yeah? It's like, yeah. I'm terrible with names anyway, so I've learned over the years, especially when I used to work at the co-op. I used to have all the mums of kids I went to school with come up to me and chat and be like, "Oh, hi Adam, how's your mum? How's the family?" And I could easily go, "Oh, they're so good. How's everyone your end? Yeah, they're good. Yeah." Like, it's so easy to kind of blag your way through it.
So I'd say, just for me, I mean, I'd say forgetting the laptop because I can just go home and get it.
Yeah. I think for me, because my commute's long, I would rather forget my boss's name. Matty said, Adam is spot on. Just call them things like sir and get away with it.
I mean, I feel like with Dan as well, you could probably easily get away with boss man. So boss man's going to sort that out,
Yeah.
Well, you see, when I call our manager boss, everyone giggles. Even she giggles when I call her that. I was like, I don't know why.
I think it's because boss is very formal. Or it sounds like you're in a mafia movie. Hey, boss.
Okay. I'm going to have to say drinks because Adam doesn't drink coffee, but we do. So, unlimited drinks with no Wi-Fi or perfect Wi-Fi with no drinks. It does say coffee, so we could do it for coffee.
It'll be energy drink.
Energy drink for Adam. So
I've been quite good in my old age with my energy drinks. I about 2 years ago, I got in a really bad state of drinking them quite often and relying on them. Like, I even had to get Chris to kind of step in at one point, and he had to judge me every time I went to the shop and brought an energy drink back. So I rarely have them these days. Like, I'll have like one a week max these days, like 2 maybe, but nothing more than that. So I think I'd rather have perfect Wi-Fi.
I think I'd rather have perfect Wi-Fi. I can go without a coffee.
The Wi-Fi would be more annoying, I think. Yeah.
Accidentally send a meme to your boss or forget to mute during a rant.
Meme to boss.
Meme to boss.
Meme to boss. Because I feel like our bosses would just be like,
I think
laugh it. And
yeah. Well, we do that anyway, don't we?
We send memes in the group chat.
Yeah.
Okay, desk next to the office fridge or next to the office gossip?
Gossip.
I'll be honest, not many people use our fridge though.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it next to the fridge.
No, I don't think it would make much difference. Yeah.
I'd love to be next to the gossip though, because you can just be there like...
But sometimes you'll be like, I really want to work on this piece of work, and
then
all
you
of a
go
sudden,
up to your tower.
I know, but then I'll be like, oh, that's really juicy. Oh. Forget about my presentation to the VCE. Just what's this about Chris Fleming?
Okay, last one. Being volunteered for a task or volunteering by mistake?
I'd rather be volunteered for a task. I'm used to it at this point. It's just people just go, "Oh, Adam, you like Holly, the president. She'll come up to me and go, Adam, you're gonna hate me. I volunteered you for this. Are you okay to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah. I think probably. I feel like if you volunteer by mistake, because you never know what you might end up with, it might be something that actually turns out you really enjoy and really nice. So I'd probably go that.
I was thinking that volunteer by mistake.
But if you volunteer by mistake, that's your fault. If you're volunteered, at least you have someone else to blame. That isn't yourself.
Yeah. If you
That's
don't
true.
like it, then
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
We've got 1 minute remaining.
Left. Well, thank you, Chris, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely to be here and talking.
It's been so nice having you.
Yes.
And we're going to have to, unfortunately, have another break between now and the next show. What's up with May?
Oh, because it's
so many bank
isn't it?
holidays.
Yeah.
It's going to be May.
But it's a great month to have our birthdays.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, we're getting ready for our first season next year.
Yes, we've got a joint birthday party planned.
My birthday has
with a theme.
With a theme. Yes.
My birthday's not until Wednesday, and we're already planning for next year.
Getting ahead.
Yeah, we are getting ahead. We are ready, and I'm very excited for it. So we will be ending on "Toxic" by Britney Spears, Chris's request.
We better thank everyone for tuning in before they go. Thank you, everyone. It's
Yeah.
always great to have our loyal listenership.
I know, it is quite loyal as well. We normally have the same people. I know, Matty, I actually sent you the link to the
Matty, Michelle, Lou, Owen. Am I missing anyone else who's commented today?
Don't think so. And my older sister normally listens in as well. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice rest of your week, everyone.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.